Hey,
This is what
what's
happens
up?
when we try to be friends off the podcast. Is we're like, hey, this is content. So let's turn our let's turn our friendship into content
Well,
for these fucking clowns.
I was literally gonna go. I was gonna say, hey, welcome to the Comedy and Mushroom Cult podcast, the only podcast where we monetize our friendship for your gains.
Yeah, whatever.
We'll do
Fuck
it,
them.
baby.
Monetize them. We started giving away shit for free. Share this shit, you
Share this.
clowns.
Tell your mom. Uh-oh. Can you hear me still?
Yeah.
Oh, it just did that your microphone disconnected and reconnected sound, so I was worried.
Well,
Great
quit fucking
start.
with things.
We talked for 10 minutes, and as soon as we hit record, my computer's like, watch this. Just fuck them up.
Bitch, you just had a nice conversation with a friend. Fuck you.
You just had a nice mental health, slightly based stress conversation. Well, you know what? Maybe you're not stressing enough.
Hey, this is the most you've laughed in a week and in 10 minutes. But do you know what? You just need to share that, or you need to keep that to yourself. Don't share it with anybody else. Keep that happiness to you.
Is that how you are? Like, if I'm talking to somebody, I'm fine. But as soon as I'm alone, I'm like, everything sucks.
Yeah. Oh,
And then
100%.
I'm just miserable.
That's what,
But
like
it's,
earlier when you were like, when I was like, oh, you didn't sleep. So like, let's cancel the podcast. I was more like, please, let's cancel the podcast because I don't want to talk to anybody. And then as soon as like I sit down and do it, like, here's one of the things that I've been doing lately is like, I don't feel like doing this. This is gonna suck. It's gonna be terrible. And then
for
I like
everything.
make myself like, yeah, I make myself sit
Yeah.
down and I fucking do it. And then afterwards, and I'm like, I'm gonna run the world. Let's fucking go. Like it doesn't matter.
Dude, I literally was having nightmares last night. I kept having I had three separate nightmares that somebody different I like died. And then I wake up
Whoa.
and then I would check Facebook because I was like, if they died, they'll be on Facebook. And then I checked like Google, like, Ray Roberts obituary. Nothing. A lot of people named Ray Roberts, so I don't know if you know this.
Whoa, I died in your dream?
Yeah, dude, it was like a bunch of comedy friends. Just I kept having like same dream with different people dying.
Well,
And
first of
so
all, thank you for letting me co-star in one of your dreams. I appreciate that I'm on your mind. I appreciate that.
I don't
But
think it's the
also,
role you want.
yeah, but also if you could not kill me in your dreams, that'd be
Well,
great.
I'm not murdering anybody. I'm just like
Oh.
the dream is just like, hey, you want to cope with grief?
Did
That's
I
the
die
dream.
from anything cool? Or did you just like find
No,
out that I died?
it's like the same thing where like the first thing I would remember is being like in a bathroom and then somebody'd be like, all right, you ready for this? And I'd be like, what? And they'd be like, it's Joe's funeral. It's Ray's funeral. It was you, Joe, and Brett. So I don't know what that means.
Oh, well, at least that'd be a cool funeral. I think that would be a great funeral. Like that would be, well, no, actually that would
But it
suck
was
because
three
the people who would
separate.
make it be funny would be dead. Like that's the,
Well, the thing that tripped me out was the first one was Joe, and then the next one
that
was
makes
Brett.
sense. That
And
makes
when
sense.
Brett died, Joe was the person that was saying, "Are you ready for this funeral?"
Oh, weird.
Yeah. So then I was like, it's just like it was a whole mind fuck. So I barely slept, and then I woke up for work this morning at like 7:30, and I was like, I've slept for 2 hours. I can't do this. So then I called my boss, and I just was like, I've been shitting my pants all night. I've been
Fair.
thrown up, and that's more believable than just being like, Hey, I'm a 28-year-old man, and I had nightmares. And it worked. It worked. And then when you texted me and you're like, maybe we should cancel, I was like, this is probably a good one to not cancel.
Yeah, it's probably good to get your feelings out there. Talk about
Yeah.
it. How have you? Do you usually remember your dreams?
Not always. Only the bad ones. It's weird.
Really? I woke
Yeah.
up the other day. I was dreaming about. I dreamed about Teddy Bruno. I don't know if we talked about this.
Mm-mm.
Um.
I
Oh,
saw
I
him last night.
did you? I made a post about it because
he,
I was like,
he died in one of my dreams.
oh, did he?
No, no,
Damn.
no,
All
no.
right.
No,
I
he
was gonna
didn't.
say. I was like, man, I thought we were closer than you and Teddy Bruno. But like, yeah, like me getting my feelings hurt about like being the last one to die in your dreams is kind of fucked up.
Is that true?
No, it's just like it would have been different if it was like those two, then me, and then it was Teddy Bruno, and I'm like, why am I third? Like, why am I third out of those four? But no, I had like a dream, and I was
Well,
at like a show,
the thing
and
that,
then
oh, sorry.
yeah, no, you're
No,
fine.
you
Go ahead.
finish your, I was going to say, the
No,
thing that
we're on
fucked me
your
up the
dream. We'll
most,
get to my dreams eventually.
the thing that would fuck me up the most, though, is like, which is like just a fear I have in the dreams, everyone else was like indifferent to it.
That seems about
So
right.
we'd be at a funeral and I'd be like losing my shit. because someone I really love just died, and everyone else was just like, "Come on, man, pull it together." It was it's just that was the part that was like the most nightmarish to me.
When's
Is
the last
everyone
time
else
you were
just
at a
like,
funeral?
it's been a while.
I went to one like not that long ago. It was still warm out. Time's like real weird when you live the
Yeah.
life that we live, and it was still warm out. I remember that much, but it was sometime last year, and like my manager at work died just like unexpectedly,
Jesus.
and yeah, so it's like we go to like the funeral because like obviously we care and we want to show our respects, but
Yeah.
like he was my manager, not like a buddy. So like I put a suit on, whatever, like you do at a funeral, and then we like go and like we see the body and then like say hello to his family that we've never met. And I was like, "Hello, I'm Ray. Sorry to meet you under these conditions. I'm gonna go sit over here after I stare at your dead family member for a hot second." And then I just like sat there and I'm like, "What am I like? When's the right time to leave?"
When you introduce yourself, are you just like, "Hello, I worked for your loved
Yeah,
one, Ray Roberts, data analyst 1 Cube 3C." Like,
I don't know if he ever talked about me. Like, how can I make this about me?
here's a copy of my resume. I may need a new job. Like,
Yeah, it was a very much like, "Hello, I'm Ray. I worked with so and so. Sorry for your loss. Hopefully we meet." Like I'm never gonna see these people again. Like they're
that's
never
so
gonna
weird.
remember me. Like,
Yeah,
and then they're all just standing there. But you can't also like
you have to do
walk
that
by
though.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can't just walk by and be like, "Yeah, what's up?" Like, and then peace out.
Oh, dude, did I tell you about my will?
Hold on. Can I tell you about my
You
dream
gotta tell
real
your
quick?
story. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So Teddy Bruno, it's like it's fitting. Like for whatever reason, I've been remembering like comedy dreams. Like it'll be like I'm at a show and I'll be not
You have
happy with.
comedy dreams?
Yeah, it's
I'm
been wild.
so
Like
jealous.
it'll be. I think it's my manifesting journal kind of coming into my brain. But let's not get too that. I have a different podcast for that. Okay. Um, but but like I'll be sitting there and I'll be like mad that like this like the lineup's terrible and like nobody wants to talk to me because everybody like I hate all the people on the lineup and they hate me because like
Yeah.
I'll still like harbor like weird resentment
Oh, so it's
towards
not
certain
good
people.
dreams.
Well, but then like Teddy Bruno walked in and I was like, "Fuck yeah, Teddy Bruno's here. Finally
Oh,
somebody good." And I'll get like excited and I'll be like, "We can hang out. We can like I haven't seen you in forever." And
yeah.
then like catch up. And then I'll like wake up and I'll be like, "All right, cool." And then the one
And
that I had
he's
just
just in bed with you.
like I look over at my girlfriend and I was like, "Oh, your hair's much nicer than it was." It's like, "Oh, it's Teddy Bruno." But like um but then the other night like I was just dreaming and I was at a show like in some indescript show and I was laughing the hardest I'd ever laughed. I'm like just straight up just cackling laughing. And I woke up and I was like, "I've never laughed that hard in my real life ever." And like we're around the funniest people in the world regularly. Like it doesn't even, and I'll just wait and I'll be like, "These are such weird dreams to remember."
I just don't. I wish there was a way you could pick and choose which ones to remember. Because I like
Oh,
that. Like I
that's
like
like a
your
black,
dream.
that's a Black Mirror episode.
Is it? Is it really? I've watched Black Mirror.
I don't know. We probably just wrote one.
Oh God, you know get the mirror guys on the phone.
Yeah, nobody knows who made
Get
that show.
Tony's House of Mirrors on the phone. We got a soap. We got a
The
picture.
show's brought to you by Tony's House of Mirrors. For Tony's House of Mirrors, you can get discount Black Mirror episodes that we make up on accident.
You can also #1 mirror supplier to all of Kenosha, Wisconsin, baby.
Cracked mirrors, bad luck. To us, it's good luck because that's all we sell. Tony's
But
discount mirror supply.
you cracked your mirror, bad luck. We don't give a fuck. Come on down to Tony's, get your fucking mirror.
Why is Pete selling mirrors?
I don't know. I tried to do a Brooklyn accent. It sounds like Pete.
All right. So did you make a will? Is that what you said? You made a will?
Yeah,
Why?
yeah, dude. My
You're
mom told me I
28.
had to. I'm 29
Oh,
actually. I lied earlier. She
oh yeah,
said I'm
you said
coming
20. I
down.
was gonna call you out on it, but I just figured it wasn't worth it.
Yeah, no. That was an honest mistake. I just was like, we'll keep rolling because I built momentum. But my mom told me I had to make a will because she's like, you could die now because you're old enough, which I think is really funny. But
Do you think
everything
that's
in
why? Do you think that's why that you're having death dreams? Is that your mom who, after meeting your mom and watching you hang out with your mom, a lot of things make sense.
really?
I mean, it just seems like she might have like imprinted like weird like fears onto you.
Oh no, my mom was like a sweetheart growing up.
I'm sure she was a sweetheart. I'm not saying that your mom was like evil or anything, but I
Yeah.
could see her being like, Joe, you're such a sweet boy. You could die someday. And then that just like being stuck in the back of your mind for 30 years.
I love you, but just remember death is very real and all around us.
And you need to legally take care of it for your
Yes.
zero
You
dependence.
have to bring a third party into it to make sure it's binding. Oh my God. No, it was just like adult advice, I think, because she was like, we don't know what to do if you die. And I pretty much just made it so like everything I own just goes to my brother and he can figure out what to do with it.
Fair.
But I found out that you can just tell people, like, you can have last wishes in your will.
Yeah.
And so my funeral is going to be lit, fam. I just learned that phrase. Did you like it?
Yeah, it's very
Anyways,
Gen Z of
so
you.
I found out that you can have anything. So like my funeral, there's like I wrote things. I haven't finished it yet, but there's like things people have to do at my funeral. So like my brother, I assume I'm gonna die first, and so which probably isn't why I'm having these nightmares. And so my brother has to like walk around the funeral and just keep going up to people and being like, "So who died?" And there's like like when you walk into the wake, you get a raffle ticket, and then when it comes time to do like eulogies, they just call raffle numbers.
Like right before you go up, you're like 257-677 orange ticket. I'm
Yeah.
gonna miss Joe.
Yeah. And so the length of time you have to talk is anywhere from 2 to 10 minutes. You don't know when you get up there how long you have to talk, but then they just play you off with like the Oscar music if you when your time's up.
They don't even give you a light.
There's no light. There's no light. No. I want so bad like someone I work with to be like, yeah, he was a nice guy. I just have to stay up there for 10 minutes.
So how about the traffic coming in, right? Like just
wish I was a bird.
just someone doing material. Like, well, Joe is cool, but I don't have 9 more minutes of things to say about him. So you want to check out this new chunk of time I'm working on?
And then I want what else? Oh, Joe Graham has to wear a cutoff tee just because I think he'd hate it.
Yeah.
And he has to stand next to the body and just say, keep telling every time someone comes with the casket, he has to look at him and say, don't look at it. And then
no, could you have him checking IDs up at the just like looking at it and doing like that bartender like curl, like ruining people's IDs. Like,
but he has to break everybody's license.
But and then when it's like somebody who doesn't have an ID, be like, well, you're gonna need to figure something out.
Dude, I want that so bad. And then my college roommate has to wear one of the suits from Dumb and Dumber, and then just like come in, and as soon as he sees the body, just like be like, "What the fuck? We were supposed to match. This is fucking," and like throw a tantrum.
That would be funny if you like were buried in like that blue pastel one,
Yeah.
and then, but like he doesn't know which one it is, so he has to buy one of them and hope you didn't pick that one.
Oh, I think it's even funnier if I say he has to buy like the blue pastel one,
and then you
I
match it.
also buy the
Yeah.
Oh my God! But then, and then, so I was just trying to think of more like things people could comment. Oh, and then like if it's a unnatural death, like if I drown, for instance, I've almost drowned twice. If I drown, there has to be like a swim instructor there giving out free swim lesson cards.
Just like a hot chick in a Baywatch costume handing out swimming lessons.
Or just like a guy named Todd who's like really good at treading water.
There's a guy in Milwaukee that has like it's not like the whole bit, but like that's like a part of his bit is that like people can have like in their will like their last wishes of to like have their ashes sprinkled on the top of Mount Everest. They're like, and so like you can just do that and make sure that like they legally have to spread your ashes at the top of Mount Everest. And be like, we didn't even like go hiking ever. Like, I don't know why he wants to do this. So like that's like a part of the bit, and it's a good bit.
I just want like a little bit of my ashes in everybody's living room. That's all I want.
I mean, I would wear like a necklace, like one of those like Billy Bob Thornton blood necklaces. I'd wear that with like your ashes.
I remember that.
Yeah.
You know they could put it in tattooing.
Oh, that'd be so. I think you could get
It's
like
so
AIDS
gross.
that way. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
that's
know what to say.
You're welcome.
Oh, I just want you to know that I have Hep C. It's not like from like anything weird. Just my buddy's ashes.
Like every current and former Cleveland comic is like, you got Hep C? Yep. You were at Briggs' funeral? Yep, sure was.
They should write an article about that.
Jesus. Just hep. Oh, gross.
Hep
But
me.
I don't know what else to put in that will. I'm having a lot of fun making it, which I think is a problem. But
Well, I mean,
know.
you're obviously like, don't take it seriously. Like that's, I mean, I guess it's good to have, because like everything that I have, like when anytime you start a new job and they always have like that random, like, oh, we have $30,000 of life insurance on you for like your family because we care about you. And it's like, well, I mean, you have a life insurance policy out on me anyways from working here. So if I die working here, you get money for it. But thanks for throwing that my way. Like I put my sister on it every time because she's got like a kid and stuff. And it's like, I don't have kids. Like, give it to my sister. Like, I don't like. What do I need a will for? I've got nothing but like student loans. So it's make it go to the state. Like, I don't give a fuck.
I like will. It literally like there's line in there just kind of says like my brother's name is Mike. It's like Mike's in charge of deciding who gets what, and then it says don't be a dick about it.
Yeah.
Like if somebody wants this guitar, fucking give it to them. If there's something you really want, that's fine, keep it. But like if somebody,
Do you know what's gonna be real
like,
funny though is if like at some point like some video or like some show of yours like pops off and you get super rich and then you die and then that's like the official will. Like you have like actual shit. like you just like you actually have shit and your brother's like, I have to find a spot to put $9 million.
Don't be a dick, dude.
Yeah, don't be a dick.
Keep a couple for yourself. Give the rest away. Don't be a dick.
Yeah, don't be.
You know, you didn't earn it. Keep a cool $3 million. Take care of your kids and shit. Don't be a dick.
Yeah, don't be a dick. Build the parking garage that Lakewood's always needed and let them park for free.
Oh wow.
That's what you should put in the will. That's what
Jesus.
you should put in the will.
That's even funnier if I don't make it. Use my life savings to build the parking garage, and it's like $4,000.
But what if it's like 27 cents and they're just like, well, I guess we'll pay for somebody to have a half hour of parking.
It fits 2 cars.
Yeah.
Like...
Oh, that's honestly what Lakewood needs is one of those like Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift parking lot things where like the cars like spin through. Yeah,
the washing machine of cars.
Yeah,
dude,
that'd be so cool.
Do you know what I think every time I see one of those too?
What's that?
It looks like a Magnum gun, and it looks like
with like the fucking barrels.
Yeah, so like every time I see that movie, I'm like, man, I wonder if we like went to war with Japan again, if it would just start shooting cars at us.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah, that's a very long way to shoot cars, though.
Be a big gun.
We have the biggest guns.
Have you seen that movie 1917?
No, what's it about?
World War One.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like a new movie though. It came out like 3 or 4 years ago.
Well, that's not new. But no.
Well, time is.
Yeah, you're right.
Circle, man.
You're true. It's a flat circle. We've been.
I'll tell you what. It's newer than the war that it's based on. So count it.
Do you think it came out in 2017, like 100 years after the thing?
Actually, that's a good question. I don't know.
I guess we could. We have the world at our fingertips. 1917. Why is my number lock not working? 2019 is when it came out.
What a wasted opportunity.
It is a very wasted opportunity. And I don't like that like when you type in 1917, that was the first thing to pop up on Google as well. Like I feel like the year is more important than that movie.
Oh, you mean the actual war that people died in? You're not making any sense, right?
Yeah, like
That
1917 Wikipedia. Like the movie's is more prominent of a Wikipedia than the year itself.
it was. Do you ever watch something that like changes the way you watch things?
No. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yes.
Because like I don't even. It wasn't like a great movie, but artistically it was bonkers. Like
Oh, I remember this. This is that one shot, like that
yeah,
crazy one shot.
yeah.
Okay.
That's why I
Yes.
watched it
Okay.
because I wanted to see it, and it's just insane. It's just like one shot the entire movie, and there's like parts because I was looking for it. I'm like, there's parts where I think they could have logically cut here. You know what I mean? Or like if it's
Yeah.
dark or something. But it just is insane how the first opening shot of the movie is 20 minutes long, and you're just like, holy shit!
How many
Like,
times do you think they shot that one shot? Because I mean, how long is a movie? I mean, how the movie's what, hour and a half?
yeah,
So let's say it's an hour and a half. How many times do you think they had to shoot that to get it right?
dude, they had to have built like at least a mile of World War One trenches
That's so crazy.
because it starts like in the back and then they go through a trench all the way up to the front line, and it's just filled with people. It's filled with soldiers. So how many extras, how many trenches were built just to get that one shot?
So do you want me to ruin this for you?
Please.
It was shot in 2 takes. It was 2 takes. So you're right. Like
Oh,
where everything goes dark when like the guy gets knocked out, it's saying that's the second. That's where it cuts.
fucking called that. Let's go.
Yeah,
But
look at you.
it was literally 2 takes though.
I think that's what it said. It's
Oh my
supposed
god.
to look like it. Was the first film to be shot with, who cares about what camera? Told in only one shot. The story cuts black for an hour and 6 minutes. Knocked unconscious, phases. Two
Well, and
movements, somewhere hallucination, more surreal. Okay, tell me how many. I think it's at least two.
well, that's the other thing too is the camera is very well balanced, and so you're like following these soldiers through the trenches, and you see the ground. There's no tracks. So I'm like, did they paint the tracks for the camera? So is there a guy holding it? But then how is it so well balanced?
Well,
You know
they
what
have
I mean?
those like floaty things, right? Like those floaty things. You've never fucking some guy at Zany's had like one of like those like full body like harness things that like
Yeah,
camera people wear, that where like the camera, like as much as you move the camera will still stay still because it's like the whole rig moves. They
I
have
know
those
what you
things.
I know what you mean, but like there's a part where they go through no man's land where it's just like trenches and mortar holes and mud, all mud. And I'm like, how do you? I get that it's a movie, but how is somebody going through that shit with a camera stuck to their body, which I assume is a pretty heavy camera, you know?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Unless it's just the fucking guy from the mountain from Game of Thrones. But then he weighs more, so he gets stuck in the mud more.
So this movie, they said that there were some scenes had as many as 500 background extras. That's
Jesus,
so many fucking people. And
that's probably
but here's the crazy part. Like the juice that's not worth. I mean, this is a lot of money, but like they said they spent $115 million on advertisement and prints for the film. And then they like specially formatted it for IMAX, and it made like like it made 159 million in the US and Canada, 225
Jesus.
everywhere else. Total worldwide of 384.9. But after all of that, like the production budget was 90 to 100 million. They're saying the net profit was 77 million dollars. So for like
Jesus.
all, and which is a lot of money like for a normal person, but like the fucking Marvel movies make like $1 trillion. They make $1 billion. Like
Well, I mean, so that's like what? That's the same of like if I told you give me $40 and you'll have $60 tomorrow. That's like the kind of similar return, right?
yeah, like
That's
you're
insane.
making good money, like you're making money, but it's also like off after all that effort and all that, like
Yeah.
77 million for a film is really not that much.
I mean, I paid $10 for it, so you know what? Add
You're welcome.
$10 to that total.
You're welcome. Out here
Is that
making
on
the
the
film industry
Wikipedia?
with
Is that on there?
Joe. Oh, we can add it. Joe Briggs actually helped watch
$10
this.
paid on January 24th, 2022, year of our Lord. Joe
Um,
Briggs paid $10.
Yeah, it actually almost basically came out in 2020, like right before the world shut down. I bet you that had something to do with it.
That probably didn't help. What
Yeah.
was the actual like release date? Like
Christmas
December?
of 2019.
Ooh, that sucks.
Yeah, that was like right before. Well, I mean, there were 3 months where shit kind of popped before shit like really popped off.
I remember a lot of people hyping that movie up too, and like it was one of those movies where I remember when it came out, and I remember being like, "Yeah, I should go see that," and then just never seeing it. You know, there's always those movies, and you watch them 3 years later and think it was all right.
Yeah, and that's I don't those huge like I don't want to watch Tenet. Like that was like one that
Seen that either? Yeah, exactly, same thing.
like it was I guess it cost movie theaters like a bunch of money to even have it
Oh
because
yeah, I
like
needed like a
is
special projector or some shit.
yeah, like you need all this crazy shit and then people saw it and they're like, yeah, I guess. Like they're like it's a movie.
It's the movie. That's
Yeah,
like the
like
worst. That's
well
the
that's
response that Christopher Nolan wanted.
well yeah, we went and saw God, I don't even remember what's the Jared Leto fuck
Batman's.
it. Huh?
Batman's.
No. Jared
Batsman's.
Leto,
The Joker's.
Denzel Washington, The Little Things.
Oh, that's not it.
Yeah, that's it. Like we went.
No.
That's it.
Okay.
That was the first movie. That was the first movie that we went and saw. Like after like once movie theaters opened back up or whatever.
Oh, really?
That was like that was the one, and it was supposed to be like good. And then we went and watched it, and I was like, I mean, I guess it was nice to be at the movies again. Like that was the only thing. It was the biggest like cock tease of a movie. There was no climax. There was nothing. And like if you look into the story of when that movie was supposed to have been made, it was supposed to have been made right before Seven came out, like in the 90s. And I like the whole time I was like, this feels like something else. And it felt just the same tone as Seven, like everything. And then there just was no payoff.
That's weird. How did
Yeah.
what happened? Was it just put in like production hell?
I guess it was just like Seven came out like, and because Fincher was behind Seven. So
Yeah.
like he just had a bigger name. So that came out, and then they were like, well, we can't make it now because it's kind of like it's a cop drama about the murder of some girl, like in a creepy way. Like it can't, like we can't come out with it now. So then you wait 30 years and then do like a shitty version of it. And it had what's his face from Mr. Robot and Freddie Mercury.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Rami Malek.
yeah, and he was the worst in that show. Like he was the worst in that movie. He played the
Really?
worst character, and Denzel Washington doesn't make sense. Jared Leto is the only good character in the entire movie, and that doesn't make sense in itself that he was so
Which
good
is
at
so
it.
like if you would have on paper just told me like the general idea of that movie and the lineup, I'd be like, that's gonna be a good movie.
Yeah, that was my thing. Is I was like, this
Yeah.
movie's gonna fucking rule,
And
and then
then
it
it's
was
just
just
dog
not
shit.
good.
Just kind of cold milk
Yeah.
for
And
2
then
hours.
somebody got kicked out of the movie because I mean it's Wisconsin, so you can buy beer here in the movie theaters like everywhere. And, like, so this guy's just like too hammered and like talking
him,
through the
Jared.
movie. So like somebody had to kick him out. So that was like a whole thing. So you're like, all right, welcome back to the movies, I guess.
Dude. Get him. That's so gross. I can't believe like that's got to be one of the hardest places to get kicked out of. To be completely honest with you.
The movie theater.
Yeah, I can't think of a time I've ever seen someone get kicked out of a movie theater.
I've seen
I
people get like multiple warnings at a movie theater.
yeah, like hey kids, stop making out. It's making everyone uncomfortable. I've seen that happen.
Do you snitch on people making out in movies?
No, I fucking mind my own business. I'm not a goddamn narc.
Yeah, if you're as long as you're not making noise.
I've told people to be quiet though. Like if someone's like bothering me, I'll be like, hey man, come on. I just guilt trip them. That's what I do. I don't like.
I almost did it during
guy.
the last Spider-Man. When we went and saw the last Spider-Man, there was I think we bitched about it on it here before. Like you haven't seen it yet?
Spiders. No, I just whisper. Anytime someone talks about it, I just whisper the word spiders. I don't know. It's dumb.
It's just a bit for yourself.
Strength started it.
Oh.
I saw Spider-Man's with Mike Strank, and every
Spiders.
time it's fun, dude. It's fun, right? Every time he would come on screen, and every time someone would say Spider-Man in the movie, one of us would look at the other person and go, spiders, spiders, spiders.
That'd have been fun. But I
It,
had
like,
a
ruined the
child 3
climax.
seats down from me.
It ruined the climax of the movie. They're like, he's like, I don't want anyone to know I'm Spider-Man, and we're like, Spider-Man.
Well, but like every single time something serious would happen, there'd be like a fucking kid 3 seats down from me being like, ah! And I'm like, and I want it, but how do you tell somebody to shut their fucking kid up? Like, how do you do that?
Do you mean like crying kid, or do you mean like kid that's like too
Crying,
excited?
yelling,
Oh.
kicking around, like a child, like a child, not like a 15-year-old. Like a 15-year-old, I have no problem beating up a 15-year-old, I guess. But like we got to stop talking about people of ages because we're not allowed to like talk about 13-year-olds or 15-year-olds, even though
I just don't get why you need to see the movie. Like, if you can't get a sitter or you can't leave the kid with the grandparents, it's like, why do you have to see Spider-Man?
Yeah, and like you know that like Marvel movies aren't for children anymore.
Yeah, they never were. Even like the OG Spider-Mans weren't like kids movies.
They
Right?
tried to make the Tobey Maguire ones like I almost like how cartoony they tried to make it, and then they like did that 180 with Andrew Garfield and just made them unbearable to watch. And then this one they finally were like, all right, we're gonna make it cool, but it's not for kids.
See, I'm talking the Tobey Maguire ones, I'm like, they were like pretty decently written movies for the time and just terrible casting. I hated every actor besides Willem Dafoe and the dude that plays Doc Ock. Everyone else was terrible at acting.
Tobey Maguire was great.
Tobey Maguire is the worst actor on the face of the planet. I swear to God.
Kirsten Dunst, like, but here's the thing: in 2001, that was great.
The entire movie, I guarantee you, behind the scenes, the director is just going up to Tobey Maguire and going, "Toby, I'm begging you, feel something, feel something, fucking please feel something." And Tobey Maguire's just going, "Okay, I guess I'll do that."
Have you ever seen Pleasantville? God. Is that the name of that movie? The one where him and what's her face from Sweet Home Alabama? Come on, you're not helping at all.
Kate Hudson?
No.
Hey, Winslet?
No, it's she's blonde. 2002 film. What's her face? The fucking Legally Blonde chick, Reese Witherspoon.
No.
Pleasantville. You've never seen Pleasantville?
Is Tobey Maguire in it?
Yeah.
I guarantee I went out of my way to not see that movie.
Well, it was pretty good, but it was like, oh, this is before all that. And Jeff Daniels. There's a bunch of good people in that movie, but it's like he's just not a good actor. I guess
you remember when they put him in The Great Gatsby just to balance out Leonardo DiCaprio?
Guys, all right, calm down. I love The Great Gatsby movie. I will die for that movie. I think Tobey Maguire fucking slays it in that movie.
Tobey Maguire doesn't slay it in any movie. Come on, Ray.
He plays that character so well. I think the character's supposed to be like a boring dude who tries to do cool things for the first time ever. Like he's perfect for that.
In like the books, I feel like his character is like a likable, normal guy, and that's why people want to hang out with him because he's like interesting-ish. He's like got a quiet intrigue about him. In the movies, Tobey Maguire is a brick wall. He's emotionless.
I think that's kind of what, like, he's supposed to be just like a normal, boring dude. And like these people who like have all this opulence and like all this crazy shit, they're like, oh, you're interesting because you're not interesting. Like you don't have all this crazy shit happening all the time. You have like a real life. Yeah.
That's fair, I guess. But, I still hate him.
That's literally how most conversations should end. Is just like, yeah, you make a good point. I just don't like them. Like,
we were arguing about politics right there. Did you see?
Yeah, that is the one thing that's the biggest thing I miss from drinking is like being at like, because we like me and my buddy Josh would just be at the Eurogyro until 3 a.m. yelling at each other or other people like about politics? Nothing. Yeah, about politics, nothing. The fucking Sweet Home Alabama, the song versus the movie, like which one's better? Like just random bar arguments for hours. And like now there's just no like good, like I guess I could go on Facebook and argue with somebody, but like
Somebody's aunt.
yeah, but at the end, you're like, it was always like, all right, cool, we're done with this conversation. Let's buy each other a round of drinks and move on to the next thing. And then you're just like, all right. And then even if you just got sick of like talking about it, you just be like, fuck it, I'm going outside for a cigarette. Like you just like
I've
leave.
never really done that when I drink. I just want to like give everyone a hug.
And it
That's it.
wasn't like mean arguments. It was just for the fun of
Yeah,
like intellectual like stimulation.
I'm just I need to do that more. I feel like I need to talk politics more, and I don't. Also, did you see Biden call somebody a son of a bitch?
Yeah,
It was my favorite like clip of the year.
it's January 25th. We're 25 days into the year.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's like still in number one.
I mean, but we're gonna go to war. Like we're gonna go
Yeah,
to
it's
war in
actually
like
kinda
5
terrifying.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't care about Joe Biden calling somebody a son of a bitch. He's gonna pull us into a war to distract us from inflation and gas prices nobody can afford.
That's the problem with having somebody this old be president, because he's like, I remember the last Great War, and he's
Yeah.
like,
Wasn't
he was
he
a,
in it? No, he wasn't in World War
he
II. He
probably
was
ducked it because he was loaded.
no, that was Donald.
Well,
Joe Biden was in like the Navy or something, I think.
was he?
I
Is that
think. I'll
it?
look it up. It's really shocking how little I know about our president.
I know that he's been in politics since the son.
He tried to run for president like in like the 80s and they booted him out because he stole a speech from like JFK or something.
That's actually awesome. That's
Which
my
is hilarious.
That's my president.
He was in a senator from 1973 to 2009. That's longer than people live, dude.
Longer than I'm gonna live. Holy fucking shit! Now, how long was it? 73 to 2009.
Yeah, that's what 36 years.
Dude, I can't do math right now.
Yeah, that was 36 years.
Okay, I'm gonna trust you.
He went to law school.
Before law school was invented.
Shout out to Syracuse.
Shout out to Syracuse. That was a school back then?
Yeah, I mean it's the 60s, not like
it is terrifying how he is from the electric city of Scranton, Ohio, which is pretty sweet.
Scranton, PA.
That's what I meant.
The electric city. Yeah, he was in the Vietnam War. Or wait, hold on. Biden obtained 5 student draft deferments at a time when most were okay, no, he got out of Vietnam War because of student deferments, and then he had asthma.
The kid will give him a fucking inhaler.
Yeah, like I mean,
oh man.
Well,
I mean that's like the thing that bothers me about is none of these guys, rarely have any of them actually gone to war, and they're going to send us to war, but they have asthma, so they're not.
Not us. Well, not me. I'm too old now. I'll be officially too old this year, I think.
I thought it was 28 was it, or 27 is the cutoff now for the draft.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, let's see. When is the draft cutoff?
Like, wouldn't it be funny? Like the first time I'm in like usable shape for the last 10 years of my life, they're like,
26, 18 to 25.
Cool. Sick.
Wow, I
fuck
feel
those
bad
kids.
though.
Fuck them kids. Fuck Gen Z. Send them over there.
You're like fuck Gen Z, and I was like, we're just sending children to die.
Fuck them kids.
I feel so bad. I mean, where am I going to get my TikToks from if we send them all? Jesus.
Fuck them. Hey, let's go to war, guys. Like,
it's so bad. Did you see that like Russia is making deals with Iran and China?
Yeah, dude. It's not a good idea. It's a bad idea to go to war. Like and everybody's like, Joe Biden's gonna get run over because he doesn't want to go to. It's like we don't have any money to go to war. Like, what war are we gonna go to?
Well, the saddest thing about it is Russia's going to war because their like economy is in like their country's in shambles too. So if they go to war, it's a distraction. It's literally a win-win for Biden and Putin, and it's a loss for everyone else.
Except for China. Like China's going to be like, all right, well, we have literally 1 billion people to spare. Like we can just send 1 billion to war and then run the rest of this country with the other however many billion
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Whatever, man.
Iran, Russia, and China hold joint naval drill amid growing ties. 6 days ago. That's what you
Can
want
we
to see.
can we pick teams? Can we pick that other team?
I think we
Like, can
already
we just
picked
like turn
teams.
heel? Be
Dude.
like, hey comrades, we've been here.
What
Like,
would hey, where's the Stoli, brother?
Just see me show up with like a pack of like imported European cigarettes and some shitty vodka. Be like, hey, I don't have a problem. I'm just trying to fit in with our new overlords.
Because you know what's got to be like the most terrifying part too is just being like India right now or Japan.
India's got nukes.
Honestly, yeah, Ukraine's probably the most terrifying place to
Well,
be.
yeah, their entire
But
country's getting fought a war. Like, Ukraine's going to be the new Afghanistan for no reason. Like, what's in you other than the fine Ukrainian people who deserve to live a life of happiness and wealth and opulence, like us here in the West? What's in Ukraine that we're fighting over?
I mean, it's got a rich history. You know, Kiev,
Aren't they
Kiev
part
is
of like
there.
the Slavic people?
Yeah, yeah, they're Slavs. Well, they're on. We'll take them. Yeah, they're Slavs.
But like, what's in you? Like, what I like other than their freedom? Like, why do people want to like fight over Ukraine? Like, what is in Ukraine?
Oh, the issue. I think the issue is that they want to join the EU, and Russia's like, oh, an EU country on our borders? I don't think so. So instead, they're just going to make their borders bigger. I don't really know what's happening.
Yeah, like I mean, they've been around since 32,000 BC. That's a long time.
It's also weird. Have we ever fought like a war where both sides have nukes?
Yeah,
When?
I don't think. I mean, the Cold War, that was kind of like the whole point. Like, we didn't fight like a hot war, but like that was kind of
Yeah,
like the whole point of it, right?
yeah,
There's a
yeah.
whole section on the soil here. This now we're getting to something hot.
In Ukraine?
Um, yeah.
You
Um,
crazy, Ray?
a zone of sandy podzolized soils. Ooh, now you're getting me all hot and bothered. There's an extremely fertile Ukrainian black earth. Sounds like a movie.
14 top-rated attractions in Ukraine. Number
They have a
one,
bunch of fungi in
Chernobyl.
there.
Chernobyl.
Hey, that was there?
That was so. You're probably saying they've probably seen enough. They've already had. Oh man, that feel bad for that country. They literally had Chernobyl, and now we're just gonna. Oh wow, that's that. There's something called Saint Sophia's Cathedral. It's beautiful. It's white and green with gold tops. Um, there's a historical center. You can eat borscht.
Cold soup is bullshit. Fuck that.
Available either hot or cold, Raymond.
Oh, really?
Yes. A perfect
All right.
example of the citizens stretching ingredients when times were tough. That's what you want to travel to eat.
Big part of their culture, weaving and embroidery.
Oh, they're known for big sunflower fields, which is where
Oh, sunflower seeds. I mean, that's
Instagram
important.
people, yeah, Instagram people go there to take photos in the sunflower fields.
This looks really good.
Yeah.
I don't know how you say this word. The traditional Ukrainian diet includes chicken, pork, beef, fish, and mushrooms. That seems normal.
Chicken, pork, beef, fish. Yeah, that's like not far off from my diet.
Vareniki, boiled dumplings with mushrooms, potatoes, sauerkraut, cottage cheese, cherries, or berries. I don't like mushrooms, but I'm sure we could put something else in it.
Yeah. Hey
Holbutsky,
man,
stuffed cabbage rolls with rice, carrots, onion, and minced meat. That sounds fucking. Oh, pierogies. Oh, that's
fuck
what we're
man,
fighting
that's
over.
Polish, but
It's Cleveland. That's all. That's all the Ukraine is Cleveland.
that's why Russia wants it because it's not great at first, but in the last couple of years, really popped off.
Yeah, as long as you get out during the winters, it's fucking rad.
Do you think? You know what? Next episode of the podcast, meet me in Ukraine. Hashtag meet me in Ukraine.
Yeah, we could go.
We could go. They're probably still doing flights there.
The Klitschko brothers are from the Ukraine or Ukraine. All right.
Who is that?
They're boxers.
Oh.
Rugby is played in there for some reason. That's a reason why that's in there.
I feel like there was like an NBA player from the Ukraine that was pretty good.
I don't know, dude. But all I'm saying, remember like a couple episodes ago where we tried to do a recap of like all the news stories that happened in the year and we realized that we don't pay attention to the news at all?
Yeah.
I don't think
And
we should
then
talk about politics. I think that's what we just learned. Is I don't think we should talk about politics either because we didn't know Joe Biden was anything. We also didn't know Ukraine was a thing. It's the most boring flag in the entire world too.
no, it's not.
Have you seen it?
Yeah. I'm not Googling it. Why would I do that? I've seen it. Oh wow, that's a bad flag.
It's honestly like, hey, we have the big flag meeting coming up this afternoon. You didn't forget about it, did you? And they're like, no. But how do you feel about blue and yellow? You mean the template that I sent you for like the most boring flag ever? No. It's gonna be different. Like I swapped
That's like
it.
literally like, did you get the email? Yeah, I submitted it. And he's like, what? That was supposed to be the background for the flag.
Like you're supposed to put something on it. It's like, I don't know. They seem to like this one enough. Like it's not gonna matter ever.
Jeez. Biden says an invasion of Ukraine would change the world.
I don't know, guys. It seems like a bad idea. I don't think we should do it.
I hope that we don't. I hope somebody is just like, hey, Vlad, remember me? It's Dale from college. I live in Ukraine now. That's not.
Yeah, could we just do like what, like that was the best thing that Obama was the best at is like, we're gonna get you and then like kind of not really do anything and then be like, all right, I promise real hard that if you do this, we'll get you again and then not really do anything. Like, I hope that that's just what happens for 8 years of like, we're maybe going to be in danger of going to war and then we just don't. Like, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I don't know why they're doing those. Why do you think, like, what's going on with Russia that they need to take over another fucking country?
It's got to be the same reason why we're like, hey, we need to defend this country.
I mean, we beat a pandemic just to start another world war. It seems like a little annoying.
Let's calm down on saying we beat a pandemic. All right.
You're right.
Like now, all right, now it's starting to make sense. Is we can't beat a pandemic. Let's at least try to kill more people that aren't us. Like
I thought you were just like, we can't beat this pandemic, but we might be able to beat Ukraine. That's their entire logic.
Like, yeah, wouldn't that be like the best? It's like,
my God.
oh, you guys think we're going to war over Ukraine? Oh no, we're teaming up. We're going to war with Ukraine. Like we want our slice. I don't know. That was politics talk.
This is like, see, we read the news now. I'm just like bummed.
Like now you're not gonna sleep again.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to go to war, man. My knees hurt.
Yeah, Joe, you're gonna need a will for when you go to war.
Yeah, we gotta incorporate that into the will somehow. Jesus Christ.
God,
unless we all get nuked.
That'd be kind of cool. Like just one part. Like what if they did that? If they were like, because there's like Montana, like not that many people live there. Yeah. And they're just like, hey, we're just gonna do this. But they did it in like some spot that it didn't really matter.
Just to let us know. Just us. Yeah, but that's like one of those things where even if it hits down, I think we launch our nukes and then they launch more nukes and then it's just boop, 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 boop.
I kind of feel like, but like just to get it out of everybody's system, like just one, like, don't you think that at some point you're just like sitting there and you're like, I wish they would just one, like in the middle of nowhere. So like we could shoot another one in the middle of their nowhere. And then all of a sudden we're all like, so everybody wins. Like we each got to pop off on nukes. Everybody got to show their dicks. And then you get to be like, we can never let this happen again. Let's get this over with.
I mean, I get it. I just don't get how there's not always like one person that's good enough to be like, hey, maybe this is a bad idea. You know what I mean? Like one just nice enough person to say, hey guys, let's all just like go to the spa for a day and think about this.
Like, I know that we're all going to make like $1 trillion off of this. Cause like, let's look in the room here. We're objectively, all of us are really bad at this job. Like none of us know what's going on.
Nope.
We don't know how to run a country.
Probably just white dudes.
Yeah, we're all white guys. Let's go to a white guy party. Let's hang out. Leave this one's going to be good for the feminist blog if they take this out of context. But like we've left them out of this. All right. Hey, if you guys find this, we're talking about our government, not us. All right. We have women on here. Shut the fuck up. But like
we just have one woman. It's just Katie Moynihan.
We had Cam
No, we
on
do.
here.
We do. It's just Katie's friend.
And there was that other girl that's your friend. We've had 3.
Cam.
No, that other girl that was with
Gabby.
you and Mike.
Gabby.
Yeah, Gabby. I wasn't there, so I forget her name.
Yeah.
So we've had 3 women. All right. We have black friends too. And then it's funny. Shut up. We're allowed to have fun on a podcast. We don't have to be
we're
like
not. We're living in 2022. There's about to be a world war. Fun's the thing of the past, baby.
What's the worst thing that happens? Somebody comes out and is like, Joe and Ray are actually really cool. Like, okay, cool. Thank you. We would never want that to happen. Fucking nobody knew who Brendan Petrie was until last
I knew who he was.
hour.
He's a nice boy.
I know. I love Brendan.
Yeah.
But he didn't do anything wrong. Free Brandon. Let's go, Brandon.
Or get him. I don't know what the right call. No, I'm just kidding.
Depending on what you find out. Right now, we're pro Brandon.
Yeah, right now we're very pro Brandon.
Anything, things can change at any minute. But no, like just but they're like we're not good at our job. The only thing that has ever been good for any of our economies was that one time when everybody was terrified for their life for 70 years straight. Let's try to do that again.
I just dropped my pen that I used to write notes during the podcast. I'm sorry.
What notes do you write?
Oh,
for when you write the article that brings this whole thing down.
No, like because we both have wild ADHD, so I'd make little notes of like when we should circle back to stuff.
We've done a pretty good job this episode. I want to give us. I want to like we started on one spot and ended in a completely different spot.
I would say.
But we've completed almost all of our thoughts.
Yeah, I would say every fucking thought to completion. That's short for completion.
We are not edging thoughts. This one. Oh,
no,
that's a good podcast name.
Thought.
Can I name it Edging Thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
I always like to be surprised with it. Do we usually pick the name during it?
No, I usually come up with it. I like when I'm like editing it, I'll hear something that's funny. Like that's how we like I wasn't sitting here the whole time trying. We can put this on record. Like I started.
It's pronounced record.
I was caught halfway between 2 words. So I just finished.
Like this guy's French or something. That's the thing. I was like, Ray's been reading a lot of literature.
I have been reading a lot of books, but I wasn't like, I can't wait to name this episode We Need 13-year-olds or something like that. Like it was just like I was editing and I'll pop through just to make sure that it sounds fine throughout the whole thing. And then it was like that whole thing about breaking down whether or not like 13-year-olds think that Beyonce is hot now. And I was like, oh, that's a very funny, like quick line that like if somebody listens to the whole thing, they'll be like, why the fuck did they name it this? And then listen and then hear it and be like, oh, that actually makes sense. So it wasn't.
It was just like people reading it and being like, I hate that.
Yeah, 100%. That's exactly what it was. Was like, we should share that comment. The guy's like, Chris Hansen's gonna ask you guys to take a seat soon, and I was like, all right, well, whatever.
He was at like what is it called? The Juggalo thing this year. Like he was like a friend of the. Oh god damn it! What's like Insane Clown Posse's festival?
I'm trying the Gathering of the Juggalos.
Yeah, Chris Hansen did like his talk at Gathering of the Juggalos, I guess.
He was making like the weird podcast rounds. He was like, I listened to him on Andrew Schultz's podcast. I don't listen to it all the time, but when I saw he was on it, I was like, this will be interesting.
He's one of those.
Or no, he was on Your Mom's House. Sorry,
yeah.
He's on Your Mom's House.
He's because I've heard him on shit before, and he seems like a very normal guy.
Yeah,
but he has one of those jobs where like the shit that he's seen, I'm like, how are you normal still? You know what I mean?
Well, and when he talks about it too, he's never like, because he was like a legit just investigative journalist. Like he's covered a bunch of shit, and then this was just like the thing that hit. Like it was supposed to be a one-off segment on like 2020 or something.
Yeah.
And then people were like, this needs to be its own thing, and they're like, I guess we could do this until somebody kills themselves on our show.
I mean.
That's what brought it down. Is some guy brought a gun.
I forgot about that, right?
And that, and then like he ran out and shot himself like on the front porch of like their stage house.
But he was also a pedophile, right?
Well, right. I mean, but it was also like it's like on Fear Factor when they started eating like horse dicks or whatever. They're like, well, this is even too much for us. Like at a certain point, they're like, he's a pedophile, but we can't like put this on TV. We can't have like a string of pedophiles killing themselves.
That's a good point. I mean,
it could. I mean, I'm not against it.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. That's a tough one. That's it's a real big gray area morally for me.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want anybody. Hey, if you're thinking about killing yourself, don't do it unless you're a pedophile. Like that.
Yeah. If
well, a
that's
pedophile.
The case,
well, see, that's the
in.
weird line because turn yourself because like now there's. I don't want to get like alt-righty. Like now there's people talking about pedophiles have rights too, but there's probably people with like pedophile thoughts that are never going to act out on them. And you're like, yeah, that's real bad. But also like, I don't want you like, if you've got like the self-control to like be a weirdo and not rape anybody, like, I don't know. Is that up to you?
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I hope that people don't have those thoughts. You know what I mean? I hope that there's like people that like you're friends with and they're not like suppressing like that shit. I don't know. It's such a weird gray area and it gives me the heebie-jeebies.
I mean, if you've ever touched a child sexually, you're allowed to kill yourself.
Yeah.
We're on the same, like we're on team there. But when you're like, hey, like, I don't like some of like the pornographic videos that are on the internet that you accidentally watch, not like anything with kids or anything, but you're like, I would never do any of that. But I'll take a peek at like somebody doing something weird for 30 seconds and be like, oh, I definitely don't want to do that. But like, there's got to be somebody who's like, I could kind of get into like something weird and like, but they still don't act into it.
I think that's just too hard of a line, dude. You should never. I think it's just never. Kids are kids, man.
No, not kids, but like even just like weird, like let's just say like weird feet videos. Like I'm not into like feet stuff, but I don't care if somebody else is into feet stuff and doesn't like do feet stuff to me. So like, what if like, or feet stuff to anybody? Like, what if they're just like secretly kind of into kids and they just like keep it to themselves forever? And like, don't act on it.
I have no fucking idea.
I know, that's just very weird.
I don't like it.
This is the kind of conversation that we would have for 6 hours at the Eurogyro.
Why?
What, you run out of shit, like, why not? Like, why does it come up now? Like, it just comes up.
I have no idea.
The world's weird.
I don't like it. I'm just like, so like, I don't even know if this is like gonna sound like a good phrase, but like, I'm very tired of the world lately. It's exhausting. It's just an exhausting place to be.
Continue talking about your feelings, because I need to find something.
What?
The suicide hotline number is 1-800-273-8255. Hopefully this saves a life.
There is a song too that you can listen to by that guy that has the number in the song.
The white rapper?
Yeah. Logic?
That's not Eminem?
My brother likes him. If you need the name of the song, ask my brother.
Logic. This is the worst podcast in the entire world.
We nailed it, I think.
I think we crushed it. What dates do you have coming up that you want? I don't know when this is gonna come out. I have to like go, I'm gonna try to go to 2 mics tonight. I'm gonna try to go to one tomorrow. I don't know. I might put it up this weekend or something when I get a minute.
I have a show Friday at the Winchester. Mike Polk Jr. is doing it. I don't really have a bunch of dates lined up. I don't know if it's COVID or what, but it makes me nervous.
I don't. That's kind of. Yeah, book us, because that'd be super cool. But here's the this isn't gonna be like the I'm not trying to be famous in comedy check-in of the week, because I would also like to be booked and make money doing comedy. I'm still on my upswing, but like I think having we talked about it the other day, like having nothing on my calendar and being like there's almost nothing I can do about it except for go to open mics and like just grind. Like, it's kind of nice to be at that point again. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, I don't have to worry about a show. I mean, I've got shows that I'm worried about coming up. Like, I've got like all this other stuff. I want to get booked, but it's also like, all right, all I can do is just show up and just do comedy and not have to worry about anything else. So it's been kind of nice.
It's pretty stress-free too. I kind of like it.
It has been it feels like there's a lot less weight on it. I don't know.
Well, there's no like risk.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not like worried about Booker being like, nope.
Right. Like I'm gonna send my stupid avails out. They're gonna tell me no, or just not
Yeah,
answer my email, and I'm gonna go say words for 5 minutes at this open mic, and then all right, whatever, and answer some Facebook posts to like some random weirdos, and
yeah.
now I get to go do comedy in the back of an African restaurant in fucking Ferguson, Missouri. Like, cool.
Hope it goes well.
I'm gonna get murdered. It's not gonna go. I mean,
You're not gonna get murdered. The worst thing that happens is you bomb.
I don't think I. Oh yeah, that would be way worse
That's way
than
worse than dying,
getting
dude.
murdered. Driving 5.5 hours to
And
bomb for
just
10
eat
minutes
shit.
straight.
Yeah. Oh man, that's my
I
biggest.
wasn't even worried about it, and now I'm worried about it. Like
Sorry.
I'll be worried on the way down.
I will.
I don't have real shows either, so I don't know why I
I'm
brought
doing a
this part
mic
up.
tonight. Come to Judd's, baby.
What the fuck is Judd's? Oh, is it that thing that I commented on?
Show, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the one. Yeah.
All right. Well, this will be out definitely after that. So, all right, I'm gonna try to go eat.
Some Papa Joule.
I think it's gonna be
Some
chickpea,
Babadoosh.
as the Ukrainians call it, chickpea buffalo chicken dip. All right, I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.